well. So has everybody finished answering? Everything's fine. So let's look at the results. So can you see my screen? Okay, so we can see that question 9 and question 2 were particularly difficult. So let's see if it's because of me or because of you. All right. So all kings, actually this test, maybe you have noticed, some of you maybe have realized that it's actually made based on the questions of the last test. I actually copied the questions of the last test and just changed the questions, changed the sentences a little. Oh no, not this one, the next one. So you will see next week. Okay, no problem. So all kings will listen to whoever is wise. Sabbe bhupatayo. Bhupatina would be from a king, so that's wrong. All of the kings. Yang kinchi or kanchi. Kanchi, as far as I know, is not a word. Kinchi is panyavantang sunissanti. So cannot be this or that because of kanchi, cannot be this or that because of bhupatina. Now, one of the most difficult ones. A man gave his mare to a different man, then a woman cooked rice for both of them. Anyataro puriso. So a man. This word anyataro, if you listen to a lot of monks and read a lot of books from monks, sometimes you will come across a name or a nickname of a monk, Anyataro bhikkhu. And that actually is not a name. It just means a monk. That person who calls themselves Anyataro bhikkhu wants to train themselves in humbleness and in non-conceit. So instead of calling themselves by name, they just say, I am a monk. So Anyataro puriso. So a man. Okay. A man. So a man gave his mare to a different man, to a different man. So anyo means different. Actually, this anya, you can notice anya and anya are the same letters. So anya tara. Tara means extent. to an extent of being different. Okay, so basically anya and anyatara is the same thing, but the usage is different. You would use anyatara purisa when you just want to say some man. Some man, you don't want to say his name. But you will say anyo when you want to compare that person or that thing from something else. So for example, monks have to recite anyo me a kapo. Okay, so monks should behave in a different way than lay people. As for monks, we should not eat in the same way as lay people. We should not dress in the same way as lay people. We should not live. We should not stay in the same places as lay people. We should be different. So anyo me a kapo. My behavior or my manners are different. So that's what monks should reflect. It's from Dasadhamma Sutta in Anguttara Nikaya. So anyatara puriso anyassa purisassa. So anyassa purisassa. So he gave it to him. So it needs to be, it should be a dative. So is this a dative? I think it is, right? Anyassa purisassa. It's a genitive and dative at the same time. Then we have athava, then anyatara. You see again the same thing like here. Anyatara or anyatara. Ithi ubhayampi odanang apachi. Now here apachi and apachi is actually the same thing. Apachi and apachi is exactly the same. Okay. Anyo puriso anyatarassa purisassa. So this doesn't work. Okay. Because anyo will be a difference. So different man gave his mare to one man. But the problem is that you do not know why is this man different? Who is he different from? You would not form the Pali sentence in this way. You need to have something before so that you can use this. Anyo. It's like the and in English. Okay. Except this one is even more different. So you use in the first time and then you use the in the second time. A man saw me. The man was ugly. You see, you first need to use a, then you use the. You cannot use the in the beginning. Because then we are wondering, wait. You said the man, which man do you mean? Okay. But if you say a man, we do not ask which man. Because it's just some man. It's not important who he is. And here the same thing. To say anyo, you need to have some information of that person before in time. You cannot just come and say anyo person. No, it doesn't work. So both this version and that version do not work due to the usage. You can look at your exercises and the solutions. I'm pretty sure you will not find there any sentence that starts by anyo puriso without an explanation before that. So either this version or this version. And then what do we have? Athava or para. You would never use para in this sentence. Okay, because para does not combine sentences. Para is explanation of a noun. It serves as a kind of adjective. It's not a conjunction. It doesn't combine sentences. It only explains a word. Whereas athava combines sentences. So there's no way how you could choose anything else. This one cannot be chosen because of anyo, and this one cannot be chosen because of para. Otherwise, ubhayampi or ubhayumpi, I think it's clear ubhayumpi is a nonsense, and apache is the same thing. All right. So number 3, 2 girls went to the forest. A tiger came from the western side and killed one. The other ran away and entered the city. So dve kanyayo ataveng gachingsu. That seems to be exactly the same. Possible? Seems so. Aparaya or pubbaya. Pubba means before. So you can think of Pubba as Eastern, that the sun first comes from the east. Before the sun can be seen in the sky, it needs to come from the east. Before, east comes together. Okay. First of all, the sun needs to rise from the east. So that's why it's Pubba. You can remember that. Apara means later. So the sun first comes from the east, and then later it sets in the west. So Pubba is east, Apara is west. So here we are talking about west, so it must be Apara. And so B or D cannot be correct. And then what else? Itara or Anya. Itara or Anya. So we are here asking about the other. And so we need to use itara. Anya. If we use itara, it would be like some girl. So it doesn't make any sense. Why would you be just talking about some girl if you have here two already? You would not speak about some. Otherwise, there's no difference, right? Or Anya. Who Ate My Curd? This is inspired by the book called Who Ate My Cheese? Maybe you have heard of that book. So who ate my curd? Now you don't know how to say cheese, so I have to ask who ate my curd. So there is a question only with one thing, actually two, ko or kassa. So ko is who, kassa whose. Whose. So we are not asking about whose is the curd. We are asking who did it. So ko. Mama or maihan or mama. Actually, both of them are correct. So dadhing or dadhung. Dadhung is not a word. So it must be this version. Ko mama dadhing bunchi. The sailor bought another ship and then went to the island in the west. So Naviko or Navako. Now, because it's combined with Ika, then of course it must be Navika and not Navaka. Anyang or Anyatarang. So Anyang or Anyatarang. So now because you have there another ship, now in this English sentence, we already expect that something happened before because he bought another ship, you see? So it cannot be Anyatara, which is some ship. It must be Anyang, a different. So as you can see, this sentence is continuation of some previous sentence. And that's why we can use here Anyang already in the beginning. Now in the number 2, we see a different man. No, not to another man. If it was to another man, then yes, yes, then it would be. No, actually, that's not true. A man would have to be a different man. Another man gave his mare to a man, and that's not in the English sentence. So it must be anyang. So he bought another anyang. Na vankinitva. Aparaya or apariya. Actually, if you were lucky to have the previous sentence, this sentence with apara and pubba, you would know that it cannot be apariya because it's not a word. So apariya doesn't work, and that's apparently always different. The former king gave wealth, the other king gives suffering. So pubbo or paro. Paro means next. Pubbo means the former. So the former king. Dhanang or dhaning. So dhani. We do not have dhane, but we have dhanu, which is the cow, and dhana, which is the wealth. Now, because dhana is I think the second noun group, then we will say dhanam, adade, and dukkhe or dukkhang. Now, because dukkhe would be plural, but here we are talking about singular, gives suffering. And also the usage anyway is dukkhang. I never heard of dukkhe. So it must be dukkhang. 2 men run. Which one will win? Dve purisa dhavanti. That's exactly the same, right? So kataro, katamo, ko, or gasso. And because we are asking which one, and it's based on the exercise. So in the exercise, you have, when you ask about somebody in a question, we ask kataro. So this is based on, this is a little difficult because it's based on the exercises. It doesn't logically make any meaning. Why would you use kataro and not ko? Maybe actually ko is also correct. All right. But according to the exercises, it seems this one is the correct one, or the best one. Is the one you are supposed to learn. All evil deeds will bring suffering. Which deed brings happiness? Sabani or sabbe? Now, because they're papa ne, you can be inspired by the ending sabbani. It's not always like that, but the chance is high. If the word finishes by ani, then probably the pronoun will also finish by an. Again, it's not always, but the probability is high. So sabbani papani aharisan dukkang aharisanti. It's okay. Katamo or kataro. So kataro would be kataro kammo. Maybe kataro is like used for people, and katamo is used for inanimate things. But you cannot really have kataro kammo. Somehow it doesn't sound okay. I don't know why. But katamo kammo is the correct way. And I think it's also, again, inspired by the exercises. So you need to really stick to the exercises to make sure that you answer correctly. Katamo probably doesn't even exist. Let me see whether it exists. Oh, it does. Katamo definitely does exist. But I wanted to show that katamo is better with kammo. Let me see, what do the scriptures say about kataro and katamo kammo? No, neither of the two is in the scriptures. So no problem. So katamo kammo. Kataro maybe is also fine. So is there any other reason why would you not choose this one? Sabbe. Okay. So even if kataro and katamo are the same, and that was maybe the trick that I wanted to apply. So kataro, kamo, both of them apparently are fine, but you would not choose this option because of sabbe. Okay. Sabbe anyway is an accusative. Sabbane is a nominative. So you would not choose this one because of sabbe, and you would not choose this one and this one because of sukking. Kataro and katamo actually are both correct. Okay, give me a chair. So this is another one this is the second one that's so extremely difficult. Let's see. Give me a chair, I will sit. You lie down on a bed. Dehi me pitang. Dehi mang pitang. Mang and me should be both correct. Ahang nisidisami or nipajjisami. Well, to sit down is nisidisami, so we can very easily reject option C and D. Tvang anyatare manche, I see. So it seems that you're confused about anya and anyatare, right? On a bed. Anya will be a different bed from some other bed. You cannot say anye manche, like a different bed, comparing it with the chair. And that doesn't make sense probably in any language. You would have to be talking about bed in the first sentence so that you can say anye manche. All right. And it's this word probably anyatare that was confusing for you in several cases, in question 2 and here in question 9 as well. Again, you have jumbled up the questions. So of course, when I say 2 and 9, for you it's different, but to understand here as the answers so that you remember. So the second question we are looking at also had this problem, anyatara. Anyatara is some kind of, a bed. Anye is when it is compared with something else that has the same nature. But here you didn't have anything else that has the same nature. There's no other bed. You would have to have another bed in a previous sentence to say Anyi. Number 10, who will cook food for us if not the women? So this is what Lady Sierra asked from his lay supporter. Lady Sierra one time told his lay supporter, oh, dear lay supporter, these ladies, they're so troublesome. So the lay supporter says, so what should we do with the ladies? And the Lady Sierra says, well, put the ladies on boats and send them away. And then the lay supporter says, okay, well, then who will cook for you food, venerable sir? And Lady Sierra says, okay, well, then do not send them away. Yes, really, that's what he said. Isn't that funny? So I was inspired by that. So who will cook food for us if not the women? Vanitahi or itihi is the same thing. Vina or atava. Atava is a nonsense here because atava means and then. It combines two sentences into one sentence. So that's not what we want. We want to say if not or except or outside of. So vina, vanita hi vina. So this vina describes this word vanita. So if not the ladies, ko, who, ke would be plural, but that maybe would work here. However, you have the verb here in the singular. So because you have pachisati, you cannot use ke. You could say ke pachisanti, but because you have pachisati, you will have to use ko. Amahakang is the same. Bhojanang or bhojaning. So this is a vocabulary question. Bhojanang is correct. Bhojaning is not a word. Okay, so that's for the solution. Anyone has any question? Anything you'd like to say? A question? I do not see anything in the comments. So I will show you the potential difficulties with the next exercise.
I think before we jump to the next exercise, I have question about the Sabeni. I think in question number 2.
Oh,
we also see
I don't see anything in the comments. Can you maybe also send it in the comments? Which was what was that something in the book or something in the test?
I want to make be clear about the all related to the Sabah, Sam, Sabah, Sabi, and Sabani, something like that. So
yes.
The problem is I'm really confused when I see Sabi and Sabani, which one is the correct one to use. Like I also see Sabi in exercise number 1. So the usage is quite different for the exercise and then the test. So I want to know more about that.
You're correct. Actually, both Sabbe and Sabbani is correct. Sabbe and Sabbani both should be on the same level. So let me see how do we have it in the test. Would you remember the number of the question in the solutions that I was showing you? Sabbani Sabbe, I see.
Let me see.
Sabbani Sabbe, question 8. Kataro Sabbani Sabbe.
Question number 4 for me is all evil deed will bring suffering, which deed bring happiness.
Yes. So there, notice in the word ahara, you see that? Aharisanti, aharanti. Now, we are talking about future. So even though sabbani and sabbe is the same thing, you would anyway not choose the version with sabbe because it uses the word aharanti, the present tense. Do you see it? But it should be future, aharisanti. Thank you for the question. Sometimes when I'm writing the tests, I'm looking into the textbook and into the exercises and so on. So it's a little more correct than at the time when we meet, which is about 2 weeks after I wrote the test. And by that time, I might have forgotten some of the tricks and difficulties that I created in the test. So thank you very much for the reminder. Yes, sabbe, sabbane is the same thing. Here, the main point was that aharante is present, aharisante is future, and the English sentence asks you about future.
Bante, I have a concern related to the word sabba. So for me, I think sabba with the long A apply for the feminine nouns.
Sure. We do not have
and
that here in the question. We have here. No, they're totally unrelated. We have here sabbane or sabbe. We don't have sabba here.
Because when I found it interesting, in the question number 2 and 6, from English to Pali, so they had to say they use the sabba before the feminine noun and sabbe for before the masculine noun. So I think it's depend on the gender of the nouns.
It's written in the explanations, right? If you use the Anki, you would see that. Did you learn from the Anki collection that I have prepared?
Well, I didn't have time.
I see.
But
if you learn from the Anki collection, this problem will be no problem, because look at that. The Anki contains all of these, basically all of the information in the course book, and you can see here that you have sabba is aligned according to in the same way as ta, and you have sabbe. Okay, got it. So you have here sabbe for masculine. You see, te sabbe. Ta tayo, sabba sabbayo. Actually, sabbayo, according to this text, would also be correct. I've never heard sabbayo. Sounds so weird. Hello, hello. Can you hear me, anyone?
Yes, Bante.
I can hear you, but your screen is freeze.
Yes.
Sure. Yes, I will need co-host rights then.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good. So as you can see here, sabbayo would be correct. I never heard sabbayo, so it's a little weird to me. And then sabbe, sabbane would be correct for the neutral. Is it clear?
Still, I have a concern because in the meta sutta, people they use like sabba, sabbe, sabba, itiyo, sabbe, burisa, something like that. So I think it depends on the gender of the noun.
Sure.
And according to the question number 2 and number 6, so they, like they conjugated the sabba according to the noun following. For example, like all of the women. So they conjugated like sabba sang, and all the rich men, they conjugated sabbe sang.
And I don't understand what's the problem there.
I mean, like the sabba, they conjugated the sabba according to the gender of the nouns.
And what should it be conjugated according to?
The gender, not according to the present tense or the future tense. I don't think so.
Where is it? Can you show me a case where it is conjugated, where the sabba is conjugated according to the verb? Where is it?
According to the gender, for me, from my point of view, is it conjugated according to the gender of the nouns?
So based on my explanation just a little while ago, do you assume that it is conjugated according to the gender or not?
Because I didn't found my point of view is similar to your explanation, so I would like to clarify about
So
it.
you still think that it is not conjugated according to the gender?
No, I think so. I think so.
So where do you see it different? In which exercise or in which question or in which book or in which sutta do you see it different?
So I may not listen to you clearly, so I lost it. I thought that you didn't agree with the idea that is it conjugated according to the gender. So I would like to express my opinion again.
So, well, you asked me this question because you probably saw some controversy, right? Something in one place in a certain way and in another place in a different way. So now you believe that it is, now you believe that the sabba, sabbe, sabbane is conjugated according to the gender of the noun. So that's what you have assumed. But you asked me this question probably because you saw it not followed somewhere, right? Did you see it not followed somewhere? Where did you see it not followed?
Now, I would like to ask you whether it's right or not, because you said that the sabba is conjugated where according to the tense.
No, I
Not
never.
according
I
to
don't
the
remember
gender.
saying. I don't remember ever saying that it is conjugated according to the tense. No. Or maybe I was tired and I said something else than I wanted to say. Sometimes I do that.
So to be how say in brief, the sabba, the word sabba is conjugated according to gender, isn't it? Right?
Sure, it is.
Yeah.
So do you have some proof, or except from your memory of me saying something else, is there any other case where you saw it different?
Because I find quite contrary in the textbook, because they said that the following words follow as the masculine ya. So it means that the sabba will have the conjugation as the masculine verb. But according to the exercise, we see that actually the sabba conjugated according to the gender, like masculine and feminine, not only masculine.
Oh, wait. What is the explanation in the textbook that you have seen? That they are conjugated according to what? Yeah is not, that's not a Pali word. You have said, you have pronounced a word that's not a Pali word. Could be a Vietnamese word, but not a Pali word.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know this word. This is not a Pali word. I can write a certificate. I can write a form which declares that this is not a Pali word. Doesn't exist in Pali language. So I don't know what's the Pali word you're talking about. Maybe you can type it up in the chat box. What's the word you're saying?
Like my laptop is broken now, so
I see. So can you spell it? Can you spell the word?
YA the pronounce
Yeah.
Y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you say yes when I say how do you, are you okay, and would you say yes to me?
Yes.
Say yes. You never told me yes, so never say yeah. Okay, because yeah is nonsense. It doesn't exist. We say yeah, we say yes, we say you, we say yeah. Okay, if you say yeah, I don't know what's that. You could see. Will you remember this very unpleasant experience that the other person has totally no clue what you say if you happen to say yeah? Okay.
Yes.
Remember that. That's with everyone who's not Vietnamese. Okay. And I'm not Vietnamese, so I do not understand what's yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's a previous. I see. That's a previous exercise. So you have there all three. You have there for masculine ye, ya, ye. So you have for masculine ye, for feminine ya yo, and for neuter ye yani. Okay, and because you have there ye ya yo ye yani, then aha, I see. Now I see that text that you saw. Okay, the rest is similar to that of masculine. But that sentence is not related to the words. It is related to the neuter. So I will show you. That's so funny. So actually the text that you read in the textbook is related to what is above the text and not to what is below the text. So hopefully we'll not get cut off. So can you see my screen? Can you see the sentence? The rest is similar to that of masculine?
Yes.
Okay, so this sentence is related to the neuter because the author here wrote only nominative and accusative. He didn't write ablative, dative, locative. And he wants to say the rest, the remaining Okay, we're having a lot of fun. So, well, you already saw it. So the point here is that the author is explaining that the remaining declination forms of the masculine are the same as the declination forms of the neuter. It doesn't relate to the sabba or the words. Is it now clear, Hasu?
Yes, Bante.
Now it's perfectly clear. Okay, nice. Any other question? Anything you'd like to say? Nothing to say.
Yes. No, yes. The question number 7 from English to Pali.
So, what is there?
So the word whose, the noun here is grandson, so it should be masculine. Grandson is masculine. If so, why the word ka they conjugated as the kassa? I wonder whether why not la kasse sang or kasse sanang, but kassa.
Because it is whose. The grandsons are grandsons of one person. So the whose is not related to the grandsons, like which grandsons. It's related to the grandson's grandfather or grandmother. So who is the grandfather or who is the grandmother of these grandsons who brought the cows here? So the question is about one person. But of course, you could actually use the other words for plural because from the English word whose, we do not really know.
Yes, I'm clear now.
Okay, so previously it crashed to me and I thought that like Zoom crashed several times and I thought it's because I'm using this new screen, but maybe I just have to use a different screen. So let's see if that works. Okay, I would like to show you the potential challenges that you may face in the coming preparation. So tesang or tesanang, here careful, it is M at the end, tesanang. And then no problem in the exercises here.
Ashim, here we cannot see the screen.
Hello, hello.
Yes, Cynthia, we can hear you.
Your screen is free.
I see. I cannot see anyone. All right, that's fine. Now I can see you. So um, that was, I think, all. Somebody had a question?
Cynthia, you were sharing screen earlier and we couldn't see it.
Yes, no problem. It's in the text, and it's a minor issue. Instead of desanang with n at the end, it is desanang with m at the end. You will realize it yourself. Let me see if there is any such problem in the solutions. I see there are several problems, but again, those I see. There is actually true problem in the solutions to exercise 17. In the question number 2, from Pali to English, the Pali text should have ayang sihi, not ima sihi. Okay. Why did I write ayang and not ima? Yeah, because it's just not there. It's not an option in the textbook. Could be ima, maybe could be correct, but it's not in the textbook, so you would be confused. So in translation from Pali to English, question number 2, the correct version is ayang sihi. I'm a little afraid to share the screen because I worry that I will again lose the connection. So as you can see, ima sihi, it should be ayang sihi. Ayang is correct. Maybe ima is also correct, but we don't have it in the textbook. Tassa bhaginyo ema sang. Okay, ema sang is a nonsense. Must be ima sang. And then here you have vanasming, vanamhe. Both of them are correct. I here suggest to remove the first one. What is this thing? Okay, I will try to uninstall Zoom and install it back and see you next time. But for the time being, this must be enough. In the question number 11 from English to Pali, you have there 2 problems. Instead of you have there 2 times vanasming, vanamhi. So one of them is you need to choose one of them. Both of them are correct, but they should not be together. And then mare sum is missing the little line above a. So tiny little things. I don't think there's any particular mistake or problem. Okay, any questions before I go? Nothing to say. Okay, thank you everyone for coming. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be successful in everything you do.